Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from the True Stories collection, as in, it actually happened at an event that I was actually judging. Amy controls Yawgmoth and Yawgmoth. She wants to activate Yawgmoth's ability, targeting Yawgmoth, while also sacrificing that same Yawgmoth. Is this possible? Okay, so to answer this, let's first recall that when you're activating an ability, there's a specific sequence of steps you need to follow in order. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you might remember me saying something similar about the process for casting a spell. As a matter of fact, the process for activating an ability is essentially identical. For the purposes of this question here, the important thing that we need to know about this process is that the step where you declare the targets happens before the step where you pay the costs, such as sacrificing Yawgmoth. That means that when you're asked to pick the target for Yawgmoth's ability, Yawgmoth is still on the battlefield, so it would be a valid choice. Therefore, it is possible to activate this ability exactly like we described in the original problem statement. Now that we know that Amy could make this play, maybe it would be a good idea to consider whether she should. I can think of a couple of reasons right off the bat why this might not work out exactly the way that she's picturing. In the first place, what will happen after this ability is activated? The Yawgmoth's Undying ability will trigger and go on the stack on top of the Yawgmoth's ability. That means that the Undying ability will resolve first, returning the Yawgmoth to the battlefield before the Yawgmoth ability resolves. Maybe Amy realizes this and thinks that means the Yawgmoth will put a -1/-1 counter on the Yawgmoth to reset its Undying. Unfortunately, whenever any game object changes zones, it becomes a completely new object with no connection to its previous existence. That means even though the Yawgmoth that's returned to the battlefield is represented by the same physical piece of cardboard as the one that was targeted, as far as the game is concerned, they're completely different. This is the exact same reason why flickering a creature will save it from a targeted removal spell. It gets even worse though. Let's observe that Yawgmoth's ability has only one target. Since the Yawgmoth that was targeted no longer exists, that target has become illegal. Before a spell or ability can resolve, the game checks to see whether its targets are still legal or not. And if the targets have all become illegal, such as is the case here, the ability will be removed from the stack and none of its effects will happen. That means Amy will not get to draw a card either. Amy still does have to pay the 1 life though, because the part is before the colon. That means it's actually considered to be part of the cost to activate this ability, not one of the effects. So let's recap. Amy can pay 1 life and sacrifice the Yawgmoth to try to put a -1/-1 counter on that same Yawgmoth. But if she does, the wolf will undie, get returned to the battlefield, and it won't get that -1/-1 counter. Amy also won't draw a card. This is the reason why these decks usually need 2 undying creatures to be able to go off. This might not be exactly what Amy was imagining, but maybe it was. There actually are some things that this trick is good for. For example, maybe Amy wanted to put a +1/+1 counter on the Yawgmoth via its Undying mechanic. Or maybe she wanted to save it from a targeted removal spell that would have exiled it. Or maybe she just needed a creature to die for a Zulaport Cutthroat trigger. All those are examples of reasons why someone might actually want to make this play in a real game, and if this situation ever does come up for you, now you know exactly how it works. But that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.